Hello everyone, finally from Ecuador. I think in my last video I had explained that we were moving here. It took us a little longer to get here than we had planned, since literally a week after we decided to move to Ecuador, our house in Texas was hit with grapefruit-sized hailstones wrapped in a tornado. So the entire exterior of our house had to be rebuilt, from the roof to the gutters to all the front-facing windows, the garage door, electric meter, AC compressors. The entire exterior had to be rebuilt. And then also the interior because of all the glass from all the windows. So it took us a while to finally get it on the market, and after it was on the market, it felt like forever, but it actually sold in a month. And here we are now in Ecuador. So I'll start doing some process videos of my Webster's Pages notebook that has my Midori inserts in it, because I like the thickness. I still want to get a chic sparrow, but I'm probably going to have to wait till I get back in the States. We're going to visit the early part of this year. So at that point, I might go up to the chic sparrow. We've officially been here as of today for 2 months. It took us about a month to find a place, and then another month just to get set up here. So we're still getting furniture. My craft table is actually being built right now. It's not very easy to find furniture. It's either very, very expensive, or it's very, very cheap and plastic without many options. So the middle ground here, I know it's very different than the States, the middle ground here is to actually have someone custom build your furniture for you. So that's how most of our furniture is being done. So my craft area isn't finished yet. Hopefully that'll be here next week, and I'll get to show you that then. Until then, I hope you enjoy these process videos. Hi everyone, today's process video is coming to you directly from Ecuador. We're finally moved here, and so I thought I'd show a little bit of my traveler's notebook of the process of how we got here. So the process video today is going to be just showing the moving process as we were leaving Texas. The next videos will show some of the places that we have been after we have moved here. This is my Midori's Traveler's Notebook. I have covered it with some paper from Recollections that I got at Michael's. I loved this gold foil, but it was a little much to do the entire notebook in it. So what I did was I used the Tamer cover for the front. That one I made a little pocket so that I can put different things in it as I go that I want to add to my notebook. to fill in with a little bit of watercolor, maybe close to the same shade of blue, but I want to make sure that my watercolor isn't going to bleed through. So I have this clear gesso that I used for some Bible journaling. It works really well on very thin pages, thin paper. So this is that thin Tomoe River paper. So I want to make sure to protect it. I didn't really bring any good paintbrushes with me. All I have is my Faber-Castell. These came with my gelatos. So I'm gonna have to get some paintbrushes here. Thankfully, they do have paintbrushes in Ecuador. They don't have a lot of things, but they do have paintbrushes. So I will apply this, and then I'm going to add the Peerless watercolors. I had shown this palette that I had made back when I was still in the States. They're the Peerless transparent watercolors, and I got the Jane Davenport collection. So that's what I'll be using to fill in some of this white space. Water brush that I got off of Blitsy shortly before I moved, and while I like this one, it's nice for large areas like this because it's a very wide brush. So to get it started, there's this little section right here that says push on both sides. So I'll just hold it over my paper towel and squeeze some water down into that brush until I see it on my paper towel. Then I know it's wet enough, and I'm going to use my Jane Davenport Peerless watercolors. And I think this blue is the closest match. So I'm just going to pull a little bit of color, and it'll spread because I have this gesso on my page now. In this one, I've been using the actual Traveler's Notebook stickers to attach the little photos that I print out of my Canon selfie printer. They've been holding pretty good. I figure if they fall out, then I can always use another adhesive and put them back down. finished putting my notebook back inside of my traveler's notebook. This is my Webster's pages. I've shown this when I started making this dashboard and everything. So the notebook I was working on is my first one here. I still haven't done anything yet with these. I really liked them, so I got them before I left the States. They're from Foxy Fix. That's another company that makes leather traveling notebooks. So if you like these, they're really nice. They're crystal clear, and they're the same size as the Midori inserts. So I picked up a few of those before I left. I'll decorate those later. So this is where I stamped the date. That's our trip to New York, November of 2015. That's when we seriously started considering our goals as a family and what we wanted to do as far as moving to Ecuador. So that was an eventful week, so I put the picture of my husband and I on that one. So these are the pages that are all completed. This is our house after it was all finished with the new flooring and all the windows, exterior completed. We put the house up on the market in September, option period. And then we closed on the house October 20th, and then we moved out on the 23rd. So our kids wanted to do a last hangout thing with their friends, so we thought the perfect place to do that would be the state fair, since there's nothing like that here in Ecuador. And so we made arrangements with their friends. There was a big group that went, but this is the main family that we went with. We rode down there together and made the plans, and that was on October the 10th. After that, we had to go to Austin because we needed to take care of paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork that the Ecuador government requires for a residency visa. So we went to the Secretary of State office in Austin. I found this sign at Buc-ee's. Anyone who lives in Texas knows all about Buc-ee's. So that was an appropriate picture for me to take of the girls. So I just wrote down all the paperwork and stuff we had to go through, just in case someone asks us, which we've already had some ask us, what all is needed. It took us about 2 months to get all our paperwork together, because you have to get the paperwork and then you have to send it off to these offices to get what's called apostilled. Everything has to be translated to Spanish and notarized. So there were a lot of steps other than just getting the documents themselves. So those were our steps of preparation and getting to Ecuador. The rest of this particular notebook is more of a personal journal and journey while here in Ecuador. So you might not see this one very much, but the one you will be seeing a lot of is this one. So my next video will be starting in here, catching up on the photos that we've taken so far while we have been here in Ecuador. See you next time.